going on, guys? I'm back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a book review on The Score Takes Care of Itself by Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh, an old school coach back in the 1970s, I believe. I got this book from Niu Shobo on his top 100 book list, and this was in the top 10 of his top 100 books that he recommends that all of his clients read. And so that's what I'm presenting to you today, because I've read it and I'm going to give you guys what I thought about the book. So here's just some things I've written down about the book. Number one, all he talked about was improvement. There's a chapter right here, I just have it. All he talked about was improvement, and he knew how to teach improvement. And this is what I've talked about in a bunch of my other videos. Like, he's always looking for ways to improve, always looking for ways to get better. He's never settling, and this is what all CEOs, managers, whatever, are going to be doing. They're never going to be looking to not improve, and that's what's most important about life, in my opinion, is getting better and improving. And it doesn't matter if you're a player or a coach or anything, but just getting better on a day-to-day basis is, it's very important. It's not what he knew about football, but how hard he was willing to work. He just had that massive work and passion for the game of football, and that was the first thing that I'll point out. Number two, there are a good teacher, right here, a good teacher. This is what it takes to be a good teacher: passion, expertise, communication, and persistence. So number one, passion. What to be a good teacher? Number one, passion. You have to love what you do, because if you don't love doing it, you're not going to stick with it, and you're not going to find ways to get improvement like I talked about in the first point, and you will not improve, because if you don't have a passion for it, then you're going to hate it, and the love comes before anything else. And I'm not sure if this is in the exact order or not, but passion, okay? Then expertise is next. After passion, expertise. So this would be knowledge of the game. I mean, I read in this book his football IQ is just ridiculously high, and that comes from reading books, learning, studying, watching film, all of these things that can add up to your expertise of the game or whatever that is of your profession that you're in. Number three, communication. You have to be an effective communicator if you want to succeed in the long term, and he talks about that in this book. Number four, persistence. So that would be your work. So expertise is your mind, communication, your relationships, and persistence is your work. I always take it back to the basic steps: health, wealth, love, happiness. And get expertise, that's your mind, that's your wealth; communication, that's your relationships; and persistence, that's your work. So if you do all four of these things, Bill Walsh says you'll become a good teacher if you do all four of these. Number three, how we lose. He cares more about how we lose than if we lose. Never give up. This is probably one of my favorite things I read in this book. So he was trailing, the team he was playing, they were trailing 35-7 at halftime. And the team basically knew that they were going to lose if they're down 35-7 at halftime. So he basically gave them a halftime speech and said, okay, look, if you guys are going to lose, I want you guys to go out there and to lose, like you mean it. I want you to go out there and just give it all you can, because we're not just going to give up and just give them the game. I want you to lose good and give it all you can. So what happens? They outscored them 28-0 in the second half and came back and won 38-35, which is a ridiculous comeback. And if he could just get that in his players' mind, look, we're never giving up no matter what. I don't even know if they had in mind that they could come back, but just the fact of them not giving up and just giving it all out, even if they were losing that much, and never giving up, always working to improve and just keep going at it, that they came back and won that game. And that was probably one of my favorite things in this book, because it's just never give up. That's like one of the biggest things in life, is to never give up. Whatever you want to do, never give up. Number 4, I wrote this down just because it kind of stuck with me. So 2 a.m. thoughts and ideas. At 2 a.m. I'd be staring at the ceiling or tossing around in bed. Eventually I'd get up, pace around, sit down in the next room and write down some notes. Then back to pacing, slowly analyzing before writing down additional observation ideas. I wrote this down because like sometimes I get 2 a.m. ideas, and it's insane because you'll just wake up at 2 a.m. This happened the other day, actually. Not the other day, a week or two ago. But you just wake up and you can't go back to sleep because you have this amazing idea, and you're like, you need to write it down, and that's what you did. You go out. Doesn't matter where you write it. You write it in your phone, write it on a piece of paper, but you have to write those 2 a.m. thoughts down, because those 2 a.m. thoughts are... I also read somewhere that you should always keep pencil and paper near your bed in case you do get those 2 a.m. thoughts. I mean, now it's all updated. You can use your phone and everything, but, like I talked about in previous videos, using notes, literally writing down everything, is very important. So yes, 2 a.m. thoughts, and just always... he's just a workaholic. He's always working. Like, write down those ideas, 2 a.m. They're always the best ideas at 2 a.m. They're never bad ideas. Number 5, he loved military history, and he read all the books on military history. I wrote this down because, as I come time and time again, the 6 most successful people in the world read a lot of books, and he had read all the books he could find about military history. And I just think that's just, you find this as a habit of every single person doing it. Oh, maybe I should start doing it. And that's what I started doing, reading this book. Is his insight for the game, is his level of knowledge for the game of football is unlike anyone else's, and it's just crazy what he was able to do when he was coaching for Stanford and the 49ers. So yeah, he read all the books. That was the 5th point, is just reading books, is because it's really important. I've talked about this before. Acquiring more information, you're never going to be better off reading books. A lot of people say it's wasting time, but it's not, because the more knowledge you have, the better off you'll be. It doesn't matter who you are. And, reading books is going to be beneficial to you no matter what age you are. You never can stop learning or improving, and that's the first point, always on improvement. Reading books is improving. You're improving your mental game. You're acquiring more knowledge. You improve, and that's the biggest thing. Okay, those are the 5 things. That's the video for today. Go Walsh. The score takes care of itself. It's a good book. I recommend it, especially if you're a football player or an athlete, for example. This is a book I would recommend. That's the video for today. Like the video, comment, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and we'll see you in the next one.